pair of linear equations in two variables. So far we did a technique or a method of solving linear equation in two variables, that is graphical method. So the first method which we finished was graphical method. So in graphical method we first learned how to plot a graph of linear equation in two variables on a graph paper with the help of a truth table. We assumed three values of x and we put those three values of x in the equation one by one, and we found the corresponding values of y. We filled the truth table, we plotted the coordinates, we plotted the points on the graph paper, found the coordinates, and we came to know that all those coordinates, they lie in a single line, right? They lie on a line, they pass through a single line, and that single line was the graph of a given linear equation in two variables. Now when we have such pair of linear equation in two variables, that is two linear equation in two variables, what we did was we plotted both of them on a graph paper, and whichever point they intersected, the coordinates, that is x and y coordinates of that point, gave us the solution of linear equation in two variables. That was the graphical method which we did in the last video, right? The second method which we are going to do today is method of substitution. Method of substitution. Some teachers, they also call it, and some books, they also refer it as elimination by substitution. Elimination by substitution or method of substitution. So we'll take some examples on solving questions by substitution. Now there are in exercise 3.3, that is essentially the exercise for the method of substitution, there are many questions, and in the first question there are 6 sub questions. Well, I can go for the difficult one here to give you the example, but I want to go for a question which is not that difficult and not that easy, right? So that you understand the concept behind the method of substitution. Once you understand the concept behind substitution, it will become very easy to apply that method to any kind of question, any sort of question, whether it is easy or difficult does not matter, right? Let's try the first question of substitution. So the first question is 3x minus y is equal to 3 and 9x minus 3y is equal to 9. Now we observe over here these equations are not in the standard form, but for solving by the method of substitution they need not be in the standard form. You can start solving the equations right away. Okay, let's start. So first what we'll do is we'll give numbers to our equations, equation number 1 and equation number 2, right? Now we will select one of the equations from the given two equations, and in that equation we should select in such a manner, it can be equation 1 or 2, any equation, but we should select in such a manner that it should have got the lowest possible coefficients and constants. So here the coefficients are 9, 3 and the constant is 9. Here the coefficients are 3, 1 and the constant is 3. So if you see over here, the equation with the least number or the least value of coefficients is equation number 1. So we can select equation number 1 and apply the method of substitution in it. Okay, so I will write 3x minus y is equal to 3. Okay, so I've selected one of the equation. Now what? Now you have to form an equation with one of the variable as the subject of the formula. Now what do you mean by subject of the formula? It means that out of x and y, one variable should be on the left hand side and all the other terms, variables, coefficients, constants should be on the right hand side. And we can do this very easily. See how. I'm going to make x the subject of the formula. So I will write it as 3x is equal to 3 plus y. So what I did, I shifted minus y to the right hand side. Now I'll shift 3 to the right hand side. So x is equal to 3 plus y divided by 3. Now what I got is the value of x, or the formula for x. This is the formula for x, right? So what we are going to do now is put the value of x in any of the given equations and solve it, right? Let's see what we get. Now when I say any of the given equation, definitely we have just got two equations, and from equation 1 we have got this formula. So I can't put the value of x in the first equation itself. So the correct way of saying that should be that if you have got the value of x, that is the formula of x from equation 1, you should put it in the other equation, not any of the equation. You should put it in the other equation, that is you should substitute it. You should substitute the value of x in equation number 2. Why? Because you have got the value of x from equation 1, right? So we will substitute the value of x in equation 2. That is why the name substitution. Okay, so substituting x is equal to 3 plus y by 3 in equation 2. So wherever there is x, I have to put 3 plus y by 3. So 9 bracket 3 plus y by 3 minus 3y is equal to 9. So 9 will be multiplied here. 9, before it gets multiplied, you can also divide it with 3. So 9 bracket 3 plus y the whole upon 3 minus 3y is equal to 9. 3 3s are 9. 3 bracket 3 plus y minus 3y is equal to 9. So 9 plus 3y, 9 plus 3y minus 3y is equal to 9. Okay, so here we are in a fix. 9 gets cut and 3y gets cut and 9 is equal to 9. So that's not what we are doing here. Okay, let me check what is the problem. Okay, so good, I selected this question. The problem with this question is equation 1 and 2 have infinitely many solutions. You see, 3y minus 3y gets cut and 9 is equal to 9. Now what is the issue? Why NCERT is giving such a problem in this section? I don't know that. But if you would have solved it by yourself, you would have also got this issue. So better that I selected this problem and solved it for you unknowingly. This was not planned. Trust me, this was not planned. Now we have got one opportunity. Why we are getting such an answer? why we are not able to solve it. Let's figure it out, right? So what we'll do for figuring it out is write these equations in standard form. Just bear with me for at least a couple of minutes and try to understand, because you could also be in such situation where such weird answers you would get. So what to do, right? We will try to understand the concept here, right? Rather than getting all worried and wondering that what is wrong, let's try to get the idea. 3x minus y minus 3 is equal to 0, and 9x minus 3y minus 9 is equal to 0. What I've done is I've written these two equations in their standard form. Now can you tell me what is a1? a1 is 3, b1 minus 1, c1 minus 3, right? What is a2? 9, b2 minus 3, and c2 minus 9. So we will find a1 by a2. a1 by a2 will be 3 by 9, that is 1 by 3. We will find b1 by b2. b1 by b2 is minus 1 by minus 3, which is 1 by 3. And c1 by c2, what is c1 by c2? c1 by c2 is minus 3 by minus 9, which is nothing but 1 by 3. So what we are getting is a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 is equal to c1 by c2. And you know this from yesterday, where we did the topic consistency of linear equations in two variables. Whenever we are getting this situation, what does it mean? It means that the given pair of linear equations are consistent, having infinitely many solutions. So if you plot these two equations lines on the graph, what would you get? You would get parallel lines. You would get coincident lines, not parallel. Parallel means no solution. But here the given equations have infinitely many solutions, right? So I won't call it a failed attempt or first you can say 15 minutes are wasted in this video. I will without editing, I will keep this video as it is, because it is also a learning for us. We can also come across these kind of questions further in the chapter, and we should remember, wherever we are getting such weird solutions, that means we must check the consistency of the equations by finding the fractions a1 by a2, b1 by b2, and c1 by c2. Always remember what we learned in the yesterday's video, that is the checking the consistency of the solutions. Always remember that, right? So let us now officially start with the next question, because this question did not give us any satisfactory solution. Let's do one more substitution question. Let's do it. Okay, I would like to try, should I try the root one? Okay, let's try the root one. Yeah. So question number 1, sub question 5 from exercise 3.3, right? So what is the first equation? Root 2x plus root 3y is equal to 0. This is equation 1, and the second equation is root 3x minus root 8y is equal to 0. I will first check whether the given equation will have any solution or not. Otherwise it will be a trouble. Okay. uh, Now I'm checking this solution, and I'm finding that here again the equations are solvable. Of course they are solvable, but the solution is very uncommon. So but let's do it, right? Why we have written it, so let's do it. Like, why not try it? Okay, we can do one more question, why not? Okay, so I've given them numbers to the equation. Let's now select one of the equation, and I told you, remember what is the criteria for selecting the equation? The equations must have the lowest value of coefficient. Okay, so I'll select equation number 1. Okay, from equation number 1 I'll make x the subject of the formula. So root 2x is equal to minus root 3y. I shifted root 3y to the right hand side. So x is equal to minus root 3y upon root 2. Now substituting, x is equal to minus root 3y upon root 2 in equation 2. So wherever there is x, I'm going to substitute this value. Let's see what I get. Root 3 multiplied by minus root 3y, the whole upon root 2 minus root 8y is equal to 0. So here it will be minus root 3 into root 3 will be 3y by root 2 minus root 8y is equal to 0. Shall we take LCM? Yes. So 3y minus root 8 into root 8y into root 2, the whole upon root 2 is equal to 0. Root 2 will go to this side and will become 0. So 3y minus root 8 into root 2 is root 16. Root 16 is 4. 3y minus 4y is equal to 0. So 3y minus 4y is minus y is equal to 0. If minus y is 0, what will be plus y? Therefore plus y is also 0. So we got the value of y. Now let's substitute this value of y in the first equation, because we substituted the value of x in the second equation. Now we need to substitute whatever value of y we have got from substituting the value of x in second equation. Whatever value of y we have got, we will substitute that in the first equation. Okay, so I will write here, statements are very important. Substituting y is equal to 0 in equation 1. So root 2x plus root 3 into 0 is equal to 0. Alright, so root 2x is equal to, okay, so this becomes 0. So I can directly write root 2x is equal to 0. So x is equal to 0 by root 2. That is 0. So strange but true that we are getting the value of x and y both as 0. Therefore x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0 are the solutions of the given pair of linear equation in two variable we have solved it by the method of substitution. Okay, so we tried two questions. The first one was a bummer. The second one I'm not very much satisfied, because you know this is not how you actually solve linear equation in two variable with the method of substitution. But why not? We can get sums like them. So it's okay, no problem. Let's solve one more. Why not? Okay, the next one. Question number 2. Solve 2x plus 3y is equal to 11. 2x plus 3y is equal to 11. and 2x minus 4y is equal to minus 24, and hence find the value of m, and hence find the value of m for which y is equal to mx plus 3. Okay, so that's your question. You have to solve these two equations, find the value of x and y, put it in this equation and find the value of m. So how we are going to solve these two equations? Of course, by the method of substitution. That's our method for today, right? Okay, so this will be equation number 1, 2x plus 3y is equal to 11. And before I give this equation number 2, I would like to draw your attention to one detail, that if you see 2 and 4, what is common between 2 and 4? What is common factor? 2. And this is also divisible by 2. So why not simplify this before giving it number 2, right? So 2 will come out common. X minus 2y is equal to minus 24. So x minus 2y is equal to minus 24 by 2. So x minus 2y is equal to minus 12. Now I think it should be given equation number 2. So this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. Right? Okay. Now we have to apply the method of substitution. Yes. And in this case, I'm not going to choose equation 1 because I see the coefficients are bigger here. Here the coefficients are smaller. Right? So from equation 2, I'm going to just simplify this and write it as, therefore equation 2 can be written as x is equal to 2y minus 12. Minus 2y goes that side and becomes plus 2y minus 12. So that is the value of x which we have got from equation number 2. What we are going to do now with the value of x, we are going to substitute it in equation number 1. So substituting x is equal to 2y minus 12 in equation 1. Therefore, so wherever there is x, we have to put 2y minus 12. So 2 bracket 2y minus 12. I just replaced x with 2y minus 12 plus 3y is equal to 11. So 4y minus 24. 4y minus 24 plus 3y is equal to 11. 4y minus 24 plus 3y is equal to 11. Now I just solve this with the help of linear equation in one variable. There is just one variable over here, right? Is everything correct? Yes, absolutely. 4y plus 3y is 7y is equal to 11 plus 24. So 7y is equal to, this will be 35. So y is equal to 35 by 7. So y is equal to 5. Finally, we are getting some answers. After first two questions, I lost all the hopes. I'm just joking with you. All right. So y is equal to 5. Now we will substitute the value of y in equation number 2. See, all the game of substitution is happening now. What we did first, we first selected an equation. Out of any two equations, we selected one equation and found the value of x. We made x or y the subject of the formula, any one variable. Then we substituted that value of x or y in the other equation, that is first equation in this case. From first equation we solved and got the value of y. Again we will substitute the value of y in any of the equation. Now see, there is no rule as such that the value of y should be substituted in equation 1 only or equation 2 only. You can substitute value of y in any equation. You will get the value of x. The idea is to get the value of x, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write here substituting y is equal to 5 in equation 1, let's say 1, no problem. So 2x plus 3 bracket 5, y is 5 is equal to 11, 2x plus 15 is equal to 11, 2x is equal to 11 minus 15, 2x is equal to minus 4, x is equal to minus 4 by 2, so x is equal to minus 2, x is equal to minus 2. Now what we have to do? We have to substitute the value of y as well as x in y is equal to mx plus 3 and find the value of m. Let's do it. This is the method of substitution. If you're wondering what is the method of substitution, this is it. This is how you do it. Okay. So y is equal to mx plus 3. What is the value of y? 5 is equal to m bracket. What is the value of x? Minus 2 plus 3. So 5 is equal to minus 2m plus 3. 5 minus 3 is equal to minus 2m. 5 minus 3 is 2 is equal to minus 2m. So 2 by minus 2 is equal to m, and therefore m is equal to minus 1. That is the solution, that is the answer. Okay, so this was a supplementary or an extra question. The main thing, the main idea regarding this question was solving pair of linear equation in two variable with the method of substitution. That's what we have done. Okay, let's go towards our word problems. Word problems are there in every NCERT exercise. So you do graphical method, you learn how to solve pair of linear equation by graphical method, and you do word problems on them. So in word problems, what you learn? You read a word problem, you convert that word problem into equation, right? Algebraic equations, linear equation in two variables, and then solve them by the particular method, whether it is graphical method or substitution method. So now what we are going to do is read some questions from this particular exercise and make equations. I am going to help you make equations. I am going to teach you how to form equations, but solving them is your part. It is your duty. Okay, so you are going to solve the equations which we are going to form now. The method which we are going to use is, which method are we going to use for solving? In this exercise we are using the method of substitution. Graphical was done yesterday, right? In the last video, I mean. Okay, let's take more questions. Now word problems, right? Okay, so this is exercise 3.3, question number 3. Let's take question number 1. Okay, I'll try to solve maximum questions for you so that you know how to form equations by reading word problems, because that is the most challenging task students face. Once the equations are formed, solving is not a big deal, right? So the question is, form the pair of linear equations for the following problems and find their solutions by substitution method. They have clearly mentioned it. Number 1, the difference between two numbers is 26. If you have NCERT, kindly keep it open in front of you and read the question with me, right? The difference between two numbers is 26 and one number is 3 times the other. Find them. Now the idea regarding how you will know whether this question is from linear equation in two variables, or you have one more chapter in 10th standard, that is quadratic equation. How to figure out that question will come in the future, in very near future. When you are going to study quadratic equation, you are going to face this very troubling question which troubles many of the students, that this question is from linear equation in two variables or from quadratic equation, because both are very similar to each other. and in both we have to form equations, but in one of the kind of problems you have to form linear equation in two variables, and in other kind of problems you have to form quadratic equation. What is quadratic equation? You should know by now because you have done polynomials. But anyways, we are not going to go deeper into that. That question we are going to answer when we are going to study quadratic equation. For now, let us focus how to form equation over here. The difference between two numbers is 26, right? One number is 3 times other, find them. Now first statement should be, let the two numbers be x and y. Let the two numbers be x and y. The difference between them is 26. So x minus y is equal to 26. Equation number 1. The difference between two numbers is 26. And one number is 3 times the other. Out of x and y, which is bigger? Of course x is bigger. So that bigger number is 3 times the smaller, 3 times the other. So x is equal to 3y. That is the second statement which we have got from the question. It gives you second equation, x is equal to 3y, but that's not the equation which we want. So we'll write it in a standard form. X minus 3y is equal to 0. You take 3y that side, here nothing remains. X minus 3y is equal to 0, equation number 2. That is how you form equations. Now you will solve these two equations, equation 1 and 2, by substitution method, get the answer and write the answer, final answer, that is the value of x and y, in a statement form, like that given the two numbers, the two required numbers are this and this. After solving is your part. Please pay attention. You know how to solve by substitution method by now. We are half an hour into the video and you should know how to solve equations by substitution method. You can always stop the video, pause the video momentarily and solve the remaining questions. Get the confidence for substitution method and then try solving the word problems. Don't go into word problems without knowing the method like back of your hand. Let's go to the second question. I'm going to give you equations for all of the questions. I'll try that. Okay, question number 2. The larger of two supplementary angles exceeds the smaller by 18 degrees. Find them. Larger of two supplementary angles exceeds the smaller by 18 degrees. Find them. Now we are talking about two supplementary angles. Let the two supplementary angles be x and y. So therefore x plus y is equal to 180. Equation number 1. Why 180? Because they are supplementary angles. And the larger of the two exceeds the smaller by 18 degree. That means the difference between larger and smaller is 18 degrees. So I can very well write x minus y is 18. Equation number 2. That's it. You have got two equations. So this is how you form equations. But these are simple questions, right? Let's go for some difficult ones. Third question. The coach of a cricket team buys 7 bat and 6 balls for rupees 3,800. Later she buys 3 bats and 5 balls for rupees 1,750. Find the cost of each bat and each ball. Let the cost of each bat be rupees x and each ball be rupees y. Let the cost of each bat be rupees x and each ball be rupees y. Now two statements which are already there in the question. The coach of a cricket team buys 7 bats and 6 balls. So 7x plus 6y. 7 bats and 6 balls for rupees 3,800. How did I get this equation? See, cost of 1 bat multiplied by 7. Why? Because she is buying 7 bats. Plus, together with that, she is buying 6 balls also. So, cost of 1 ball multiplied by 6. If you add them, you get the total cost. That is 3,800. That is the logic, right? Equation number 1. Later, she buys 3 bats and 5 balls for rupees 1750. 3 bats and 5 balls, 1750. Equation number 2. So, what you need to do is, you need to find the cost of each bat and each ball. How will you do that? You will solve these two equations by the method of substitution, and you will find the value of x and y, which is the cost of each bat and each ball. That is how you have to proceed, right? Let's proceed to the next question. Question number 4. The taxi charges in a city consists of a fixed charge together with the charge for the distance covered. Now I am reading the first statement and I am directly reading the last statement. Second last statement. What are the fixed charges and charges per kilometer? And how much does a person have to pay for traveling a distance of 25 kilometers? Right? So there are two questions in this. Be very careful while reading the question. Two questions in this. First question is, what are the fixed charges and the charges per kilometer? There are two kinds of charges which we have to find. So two things to be found, two variables to be assigned. Let the fixed charge be rupees x and the charge per kilometer be rupees y. Let the fixed charge be rupees x and the charge per kilometer be rupees y. Right? Okay. So when you are going to sit in this taxi, you have to pay x rupees because that's a fixed charge. Even if you sit, you go few meters away and you say that you want to get down, you have to pay rupees x. But if you sit and you travel a distance of, let's say, 10 kilometers, so you have to pay rupees x plus rupees y for each kilometer. So 10y, because you have traveled 10 kilometers. So x plus 10y is your total fare. You understand? Yes. So now we'll read the question again. For a distance of 10 kilometers, the charge paid is rupees 105. Okay. So see, first situation, you are paying rupees x because that's the fixed charge. Right? And you are traveling 10 kilometers. Per kilometer you have to pay y. For 10 kilometers, how much you have to pay? 10y. Fixed charge you are paying, plus for every kilometer you are paying rupees y. For 10 kilometers you are paying rupees 10y. And the total charges which you are paying is rupees 105. Equation number 1. The charge, and for a journey of 15 kilometers, the charge paid is rupees 155. Again, second situation, second equation, you are paying fixed charges plus how much you are traveling, 15 kilometers, and total how much you are paying, 155 rupees. Equation number 2. So what they are asking is, what are fixed charges and the charges per kilometer? That is x and y. You have got two equations. You can easily solve them and you can find the values of x and y. That is done. The last question is, how much does a person have to pay for traveling a distance of 25 kilometers? Now I want you to think about this. How much will a person pay if he travels a distance of 25 kilometers? Think about it and then you will answer. After finding x and y, you will answer this one extra question which they have asked. Right? So This is a question about numbers, about angles, about cost, about again about cost, taxi fare. Let's take one question, that is the next question, about fractions. These are all the types of word problems which we are going to encounter in this chapter. Maybe if we get a similar question ahead, I will not do it because we have already done it once, right? I want you to see how I form equations for different types of questions. Once you have seen all the types, then you can form equations yourself. The day you are ready to form equations yourself, that means you have done the chapter. You need to learn all the methods for solving linear equation in two variable, and you need to learn how to form equations from word problems. If you learn these two things, you're done, you're master, right? Okay. Yes, of course, you don't become master without practicing. So that's one important part which I didn't mention there. Okay. Question number 5. A fraction becomes 9 by 11 if 2 is added to both the numerator and denominator. If 3 is added to both the numerator and denominator, it becomes 5 by 6. Find the fraction. We have to find a fraction. First statement. Let the numerator of a fraction be x and the denominator of the fraction be y. Therefore, the fraction becomes x by y. Therefore, the fraction becomes x by y. This is the opening statement, which is mandatory for all word problems. You have to make opening statement. You have to make clear what is x, what is y. Now you are ready to form an equation. A fraction becomes 9 by 11 if 2 is added to both numerator and denominator. This is a statement which will give us our first equation. So if 2 is added to the numerator and denominator, that is x plus 2 upon y plus 2, a fraction becomes 9 by 11. Now let me draw your attention to a very important thing. Is this equation in standard form? No, it is not in standard form. So you have to bring it in standard form. I'll give you a hint how to bring an equation in standard form. You have to cross multiply. Simplify, bring it in standard form. Once it is in standard form, you can then start solving it. Okay, so that's your part. You will do it. I will just name it equation number 1 over here. Okay, there is one more statement. We want our equation number 2 also. If 3 is added to both numerator and denominator, that is x by 3 by y, x plus 3 by y plus 3, the fraction becomes 5 by 6. Equation number 2. Simplify both the equations, bring them in standard form. Only then they will become solvable. Then solve them by the method of substitution. Get the value of x and y, you will find the fraction. It is that easy, right? Okay, I am going to skip the last question, that is the age question. You remember we did some age question yesterday. The first question which we did was age question. Altaf and his daughter. Here Jacob and his son are involved in the age problem, which we are going to skip, right? So let's move on to the next type of problems. Are there any? Let me check. No. We are on to the next type, that is the method of elimination, right? Elimination by substitution. This was one second, again substitution. They have got more and more substitution problems. All right, So let's do it in the same video. Why not? I thought that's elimination by equating coefficients. This is still elimination by substitution. Elimination method and substitution. Oh my god. Okay, I didn't read the question properly. So in exercise 3.4, what they are asking us to do is solve the equations by elimination method and the substitution method. You have to solve one equation by both the methods. Well, let me tell you one thing. In exercise 3.4, I just want you to solve the equations by the method of elimination by equating coefficients. Okay, so that's the new method which we are going to do in exercise 3.4. I don't want you to solve it by substitution. This is enough substitution which you have done. Okay, and we are going to do some more worksheets and practice of substitution, but that's little difficult level. Okay, so don't waste your time over here. And in 3.4, when we are going to see you in the next video, we are going to do the method of elimination by equating coefficients. Okay, so see you in the next video.